Testing, testing. One, two, testing, testing. You know what I was thinking? Um, I don't know, something kind of just crossed my mind earlier. I was thinking that a good day, like one of those days where that Ice Cube was talking about, you know, like today was a good day. Those type of days, of course, bring happiness, right? Duh, like they bring happiness, right? But I think bad days are more valuable than good days because the bad days they teach you something. They teach you things about life. They teach you things about yourself. They teach you a lot of shit, man. And, I talk about good days and bad days, but if you think about it, every day you kind of have, different choices, I guess you could say. Um, every day you kind of wake up with two choices. You can either sleep in and dream, right? Catch some Z's, do a little bit of dreaming, or you can wake the fuck up and go chase those dreams in real life. So, I don't know, it was just something that kind of just crossed my mind earlier. That maybe some people might not think about. Shit, I know at times I kind of forget. Sometimes I need that motivation. Like, let's go chase a dream, nigga. Let's go get it. Let's go chase a dream. Um, with that being said, what's up, everybody? Um, how's it going? How's it hanging? What's going down? You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys had a fucking amazing day today. And I hope you guys are having an even better night. If this is your first time in the chat, my name is Cloudy Wingz. That's CLOUDY WYNGZ. I do a lot of other stuff besides Twitch. I do have a YouTube channel with 90,000 subscribers. Go check me out. And if you like what you see, it's mostly lifestyle vlogs. But if you like what you see, give me a subscription, man. But yeah, so whether you're just waking up, whether you're about to go to sleep, whether you're just relaxing, whether you're working third shift, whether you're babysitting right now, whether you're about to go drink some alcohol, whether you're about to go drink some coffee. I don't know what type of vibe you're on. Or you're just kind of just chilling for the evening, right? Regardless of what you're doing right now, regardless of what color you are, where you're from, where you live, what your background is, what your religion is, I am so glad you're here with me today. One thing I do want to speak on just briefly is that racism is for dumb fucks. Not only dumb fucks, it's for poor people, it's for dumb fucks, is for complete and total idiots. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Shout out, shout out, ski bid monkey haters, man, for the follow. Um, so yeah, racism is stupid as fuck. But seriously, just being able to spend some time with y'all, whether we're kind of just, whether you're just, you're just looking to chat, you're just looking for a chat, like you're just looking for something to, watch or entertain you, or you're just lurking on some hater shit, or just passing through, or just kind of vibing with the stream. It means a lot to me. I don't care either way. Like if you're a hater, I do not care. But if you're vibing and you know what I mean, like appreciate you rocking with me. But if you are a hater or a game or like a game player, because you're online and you feel like you know it's not the real world, you don't have anything to worry about. Fuck you, straight up. If you're a hater, fuck you. It is what it is, man. So baby girl, I want to introduce y'all. Come here, Luna. Come here. This is Luna. You want to go outside? All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. I have doggy duties. All right. Testing, testing. 1, 2. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay. But I think it's I just want to let it be known that I don't take any of these follows or any of these subscribers for granted. That's all. But so tonight we're gonna be doing something a little bit different, right? I've been thinking a lot lately about some off the wall ass shit, right? And one of those off the wall ass things are the joy of trying new things. Okay. So I feel like there's so much joy that can be found in trying new things. And I know it's one of those topics that kind of sounds real simple, but when you actually dig into it, it can actually get pretty deep. And that's what we're about to do right now. It's kind of like that moment when you get in a conversation with someone and what starts as like small talk and, you know, like little questions kind of turns into like this whole God, I hate saying this damn word. Philosophical. Philosophical. It turns into a whole philosophical debate. But that's what I want to talk to y'all about. That's what I want to talk to y'all about today. What it means to step outside your, for lack of a better term, your comfort zone. You know, to try something that's completely new, even if it scares you a little bit. And so that's what today's stream is about. If you are new here, we do tackle all kinds of topics. So stay tuned. And because it's about to get a little bit real. No, it's about to get full real. It's about to get full real. Yeah. So give me 1 second. Let my dog back in, and we will get down to the nitty gritty of trying new things, and not just trying new things, but the joy that trying new things brings. Give me 1 second. Testing, testing. 1, 2. Testing, testing. All right. So, how many of y'all, like me, get super comfortable doing the same shit over and over? Over and over and over and over again. Like, you get complacent. I mean, okay, maybe complacent is not the right word, but you get comfortable, right? I mean, there's a reason I have a playlist with like the same 5 songs on repeat, right? It's comfortability, or why most of the time I always order the same shit when I go out to eat. Comfortability, you know, it's predictable. And some people might even call it fucking boring. And that's totally fine until it's not anymore. You dig what I'm saying? Like, how long are you gonna do the same shit? You gonna die doing the same shit? You gonna die eating the same shit? You gonna die living the same place? You know what I mean? Like, is your fucking days gonna look the fucking same forever? Like that's fucking boring. But here's the thing. Sometimes even the most comfortable routines can start to feel a little more than boring. Like, don't get me wrong. Okay, don't get me wrong. Like, I love, love, love my cool, like cozy, chill ass little habits. All right, because that's what they are. They're habits. But every once in a while, I think, you know what? It'd be cool to shake some shit up. To do something that makes you feel a little bit uneasy. Something that might even give you a little anxiety. Not in a bad way. But in that way where your brain's like, whoa, we doing some new shit here? Let's fucking go, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like that feeling. So and I kind of just been, chilling, thinking, reflecting on this a lot because honestly, being a content creator kind of forces me into that space sometimes, whether I'm whether I'm ready for it or not. Really, like think about it. Okay, every time I think about ideas for a new like vlog, because I do lifestyle vlogs on YouTube, but every time I think about a new idea for a new vlog, shit, or every time I start a new live stream and challenge myself to think up a new topic or challenge myself with something I've never done before on stream or talked about before on stream. there's this tiny voice in my head that says, "Yo, you sure this is a good idea? Are you sure? Cause what if it's a disaster? What if no one likes it? What if it's boring?" Right? Boring. That's crazy. What if it's boring? But you know what? Every single time I push through that, like that first little feeling of like uncomfortability, like discomfort, the experience is way better than I expected. Every single time. And yeah, don't get me wrong, sometimes it does end up being a little messy, you know? Like I gotta admit, okay. So there's been moments where I've completely failed at some shit, and the whole vlog just turns into like this complete comedy show instead of a high level vlogging session, if that makes sense. Like, for example, even though this is kind of not an example, but it's kind of an example, because it's not really vlogging. But okay, like on Christmas Day, somebody in my family was gifted a VR headset. On Christmas Day, I tried. It's like my first. Oh, no, no, no. Actually, I've tried a VR game with a horror, or like a horror theme. But so on Christmas Day, I tried a horror game, like a scary game that's supposed to scare the shit out of you, with a VR headset. And to be honest, I don't think I screamed that loud in my entire fucking life. Like I sounded like a complete bitch. Like the type of scream where like your neighbors probably think you're like a serial killer. But it's all good because me and my family laughed about the shit, and that's what made it like a good time. That's what made it so great. It was some new shit, haven't done it before, scared the shit out of me. But and who gives a fuck what the neighbors think? you know. And but that feeling though, that feeling of trying some new shit that excites the fuck out of you, that's what I want to talk about. Like, but the trying though part though, not the perfection. I'm talking about the messy, imperfect, beautifully awkward process of just kind of stepping into some shit that's new and seeing where that takes you. You know what I mean? And sometimes I surf the net. I get on social media and I read shit. I go all over the place, right? Just kind of just soaking up information. You know what I mean? And it's kind of messy back there. I need to clean that up actually. But I kind of just go places, kind of just soak up information and shit. And as I'm looking up shit online, I'm kind of seeing hella people talk about trying new shit. Like, oh, I did this the other day. It was amazing. Or you see videos of people, whether it's zip lining or jumping out of airplanes or whatever the fuck, right? Just, people trying new shit. And, you got some people learning new languages. You got others, picking up new hobbies like photography or painting or, and some people are even trying out new genres of music or new genres of video games. And I fuck with that. I fuck with that, man. Because I think it's cool as hell to see, like, the generations, different generations, whether you're old, middle-aged, young, all trying out the idea, or all kind of embracing the idea of growth and pushing themselves to try something unfamiliar. And I think that's a big part of living. But by the way, if any of y'all are in the middle of trying something new, whether it's like a big life change type new shit or just something small like making a new recipe or watching a documentary you never thought about, or even shit watching a new category of porn. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing about the last one. But shit, drop it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to hear about it. Let's celebrate your little victory. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did you try new? It doesn't have to be some perfect shit. Like, the fact that you're doing it and you're trying it, that's what makes it worth it. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, I'd love to hear about y'all. The new shit you just did, or some shit you never done before that was great, or maybe it sucked. Maybe it fucking sucked. Who knows? But yeah, man, I'd love to hear about it. All right, so if nobody's gonna comment in the chat, I'm gonna tell a little story. A little story from my own life. And this is gonna sound kind of random, but just trust me, because it ties into a whole like trying new things type of theme. All right, so a few years ago, I took a little trip, and it was a trip by myself, and I hadn't done that in a long fucking time before this, right? And I took a trip to like this small coastal oceanside town that I'd never been to before, and I've never even fucking heard of it before. So that was nerve wracking within itself, because they have like these cliche tourist spots, right? But honestly, this place like wasn't even on my radar. Like, a friend of mine reached out and he suggested it, and I just said, you know what, fuck it, why not? I was kind of looking for ideas of, fire places to kind of reconnect with yourself, shit like that, and a friend of mine suggested. I said, fuck it, and one of those. It was like one of those spontaneous decisions. Like, if you ever made a spontaneous decision, they're the best. They're the best because you're like, you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. You didn't even think about the shit hardly, and you just kind of send it. You're like, fuck it, And if it works out, shit, it's a win-win situation. And if it doesn't, you just tried some new shit. But anyway, the first thing I did when I got there was literally the first thing I did when I got there was immediately start tripping. I started tripping like a motherfucker because that place was different. You know what I mean? Like, it was, don't get me wrong. Like, so growing up, I grew up city and I grew up country a little bit. So I grew up best of both worlds when it comes to that aspect. So, I've been around, but there's a certain quiet that's ab fucking normal. And that's what this place was. It was super fucking quiet. Like too quiet. Like the kind of place where after 6 p.m., it feels like the whole world just kind of turned off and shut down. And all you can hear is the waves crashing on the rocks type shit. And that is the type of shit that'll give you culture shock, for real. So after the initial culture shock, I started to kind of relax, I started to kind of relax and I started exploring, and I found this little art gallery. It was a like a creepy looking art gallery. From the outside, it looked creepy. And it was tucked away in a dark corner of the town. But when I went inside, it was bright and it was like full of just creation and full of old paintings that were hand drawn by famous artists and artists I've never even fucking heard of. And I ended up spending hours there talking to the owner, who was this like sweet older woman. She had lived in the town her whole life. And she started telling me stories about the area, things like shit that I would never have learned if I just stuck to the usual cliche, safe tourist spots. I'm sure you could think of all of them off the top of your fucking head. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's, Vegas, the main cities in Cali, main cities in Florida, like Miami, shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like the main tourist spots. Like, I would have never found some shit like this. This is just one experience of that whole trip that I had. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna go into detail about the whole fucking trip, but it was amazing. It was fucking amazing. Like, I've after the trip, I felt completely refreshed. I felt connected with myself, and I realized that the best part of it wasn't like the sightseeing or whatever that shit's called, or the food, because I'm a foodie. I fuck with the food. I'm a fat nigga, you know what I'm saying? At heart. But it was the experience of being outside my comfort zone. It was the experience of doing some shit I wouldn't normally do. And also meeting people who saw the world, many people who one lived in like almost like a completely different way, right? But also meeting people who saw the world in a completely different way than I ever have. Like, man, I don't even know how to explain it, but that little trip reminded me that new shit doesn't always have to be big shit. Like sometimes new shit is just about seeing the world from a different perspective, even if it's just for a little bit. Just like the trip, I wasn't there for 2 years. You know what I mean? I wasn't even there for 2 months. You know what I mean? So I experienced this new thing for just a little amount of time, but it was beautiful, dude. Like, this shit was beautiful as fuck. And if you think about it, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, today we're trying something new together. I've never spoke on this topic before, and I know it's kind of out of my usual comfort zone it's not out of my comfort zone to really speak on like different topics. I feel like I have a wide range of shit, but I've never spoken on this topic before, so you could say it's out of my usual comfort zone. But at the same time, I'm excited to dive in and see what I surprise myself with too. So and that's the joy. Being excited about that is the joy of trying some new shit. You know, and I promise you, when trying new things, there's gonna always be like uncomfortable and even embarrassing moments. But that's kind of the point, though. Like the fun is in trying. It if we're always afraid of failing or fucking up, we miss out on the moments that come from those little mistakes. I guess you could say. If that makes sense. But you make choices, you learn from them, and sometimes you laugh because you didn't realize it was gonna go that way. Being challenged in a way you didn't expect, and shit, there's something exciting about that. If you look at the beautiful things that life has to offer, you start seeing the world in a different way. And there's something exciting about that too. You know. And here's another little, it's kind of a little snippet from my life, like here's another little story about my life, real brief. I remember I don't even remember how old I was, but I was young as fuck. But I remember learning to play the guitar, right? I remember going into this strip mall that had a bunch of little shops, and one of the shops was a guitar center. Not like the actual guitar center, but because that is a brand. But I'm talking about like it was a place strictly for guitars and teaching about guitars and taking guitar lessons and shit, right? And it was a fun experience. And I think music is such a powerful thing to try, just to try. It's way more fun to do. But because in a way, it forces you to be present. Every time you learn a new chord or every time you learn a new song, it's like your brain and your body have to kind of work together in this real cool ass, wavy ass way. You know what I mean? And I love that shit. Like, and not even just with the guitar, but just making music, period. And it's like, even if you mess up a couple notes, it's all a part of the process. And there's something beautiful in that. There's something exciting about that. There's something like, that type of shit will give a nigga goosebumps. You know what I mean? But as we're diving into like the topic of all these new things, or no, not necessarily the topic, but as we're like when us as human beings dive into trying new things, I think one of the reasons we don't always embrace change or new experiences is because we're kind of, for lack of a better term, afraid of the unknown. And most of the time when people are afraid, it's because they don't understand something. So they fear it. People fear what they don't understand. But the more I think about it, the more I kind of realize that the unknown is where the magic happens. Like that's literally where the Hogwarts and fucking, all that shit happens. You know what I mean? Like the best stories, if you think about it, the best stories in life don't come from staying in the fucking house. They don't come from staying in the safe zone, right? They come from taking chances, from going the fuck outside and making a leap of faith, and seeing where it takes you. Don't get me wrong, there's been some victories inside the house. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong at all. Like, I'm inside the house right fucking now. This is a victory. Twitch. Hey, there you go. But anyway, so yeah, trying new things doesn't always have to mean, like you're conquering a huge challenge or making some massive life change. Sometimes it's just about being open to small shifts in your world, whether it's, trying a new game on stream or eating a new food with your friends or having a conversation with someone you don't fucking know, you know? It's about being open to whatever's coming next. Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's about being open to whatever's life, whatever, because we don't know, but whatever life's about to throw at us next. With that being said, we're going to take a brief intermission. You already know how we get down. During this intermission, I want you guys, wherever you're at, I don't know if you're in public, I don't know if you're at work, I don't know, you might even be in a fucking whorehouse right now or a trap house. I don't fucking know. But regardless, get comfortable, get your favorite fucking snacks, sit back, relax, and, kind of turn into a sponge, man, because there's going to be a lot to soak up on this next section of the live, man. So, 1 second, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys. I hope you guys are comfortable. Got your favorite snacks. Got mine right here. If you don't know what that is a freshly ripe kiwi. You know, something healthy, little healthy snack. You know, trying to cut this gut down. Trying to get a 6-pack back. You dig? But anyway, where we left off earlier. Well, first off, I don't know if you've seen the title, but the topic tonight is about something that's both incredibly simple, but also something that's deeply complex. And it has a lot to do with change, but more specifically, it's about trying new things. Now, I know you're probably thinking, okay, that's a fun topic, right? Trying new things. We're probably going to talk about trying new foods and trying new video games and trying new hobbies. But hear me out. Because there's way more shit to it than just that. Like, the idea of trying something new isn't just about stepping outside your comfort zone. It's about questioning what comfort even means. But it's also about questioning why, as humans, we constantly chase comfort. So today I kind of want to dive into that. You know, so if you're here, like I said, get comfortable, grab something to eat, grab a snack, grab something to drink. Hopefully it's not alcohol. If it is, good for you, whoop-de-doo. But settle in, man. Settle in, because I think tonight's stream is going to just be a tad bit different. Actually, all the way different, because we've never talked about this before. And that's my goal here, to never talk about the same topic twice. You see, okay, so when we think of trying new shit, we think of like those big bucket list moments, you know, the things that take us out of our routine or break us free from the monotony of everyday life. But have you ever stopped to wonder why we avoid change? You know, like it's almost like we're pre-programmed to resist change, or to look at change as like a shitty thing, like a bad thing. You know. The other day I was reading. I guess it was pretty interesting. I was reading this article about how the human brain is wired for certainty. Like how our brain craves patterns. And it's kind of like how that one, I don't know if y'all remember, you might be too young to remember this, y'all, but there was a fortune teller by the name of Cleo, Miss Cleo, and she like got arrested for fraud and all kind of crap. Like she went to the feds and all kind of shit. But she got rich because people want to know what's coming next. You know, like fortune tellers and people who, you know, they got their glass ball and shit. Like people fall into that bullshit ass, scam ass trap because they love knowing what comes next. You know, because the future is supposed to be uncertain, like this deep, dark, uncertain fucking thing. You know, and that's why when something new creeps into our lives, something unpredictable or unfamiliar, there's a tiny moment of panic and anxiety, right? That little voice in your head that says, yo, my guy, like, are you sure you want to fuck with this? You know, like, you sure you want to do this shit? Like, what if it's not safe? What if we die, man? You know what I mean? So it's like our brains are like little survivors, trying to keep us in the safe zone when, you know, it's like the safe zone is kind of like a place where anything can be a safe zone if you think about it. Like, as long as it's a place where nothing too unexpected can happen, then it's a safe zone, right? But here's the kicker: when we constantly stay within that safe space, we also kind of cut ourselves off from the beautiful, uncomfortable growth and evolution that comes with stepping into the unknown, stepping into the abyss. So, my question to y'all is, what is comfort, and what if comfort as we know it is actually the enemy of progress? What if, what if, what if, what if real growth, real transformation only happens when we do shit that makes us uncomfortable? The things, and when I say do shit, I'm talking about the things that we've never done before. And what if we've been thinking about new, like the new shit or new things, all wrong? Like, what if that's not even what we think it is? So, all right. So, with that being said, I'll be honest with you. I didn't always have this mindset. I've always been someone who loves kind of like a routine. Even growing up, like playing sports and doing all kind of shit. Like I loved the feeling of feeling predictable. Predictability. And I think part of me has kind of been scared to change, or was scared to change, for a long fucking time. Like, I remember one specific time that really kind of stuck with me. And I had just I was on varsity football team in the ninth grade. Right, that's how good I was. I already had different colleges reaching out, trying to get me to play on their teams, and I kind of just had this like perfect plan for my life. Like the type of plan where like it's one of those like well laid out paths that you follow step by step because it's safe, right? It's predictable. And maybe it's safe to you because your parents told you it was safe, you know? But then out of nowhere, I got expelled from school for selling weed to all my classmates, and it was it fucking sucked, man. And because it was like, I had this huge opportunity, a chance of like moving across the country to start at this, huge college and, do something that at first I didn't even really consider. Like, I was always in sports, but I never really like, honestly, I never even really took football that serious. I was just good at it. And my first thought when like I had college people coming out to watch me play and, scouts and stuff, like my first thought was like, there's no fucking way. Like, there's no fucking way I'm gonna be able to pull this off. It's too risky. It was my first kind of like thought about it. Like, damn, like it's gonna be scary. You know what I mean? It's a risky kind of thing. But something about that thought It didn't, and it didn't sit well with me. But I realized that I was more afraid of not trying than I was of failing, if that makes sense. And after that thought creeped into my head, and after all that shit happened, I kind of started moving with that mentality. Like, you know what? Fuck it. You know, like, fuck it. Like, I started doing new shit. I started doing shit I would never imagine I would have done. I moved out of town. I left everything behind that felt safe. Right? I moved out of my hometown. And I didn't even move with a lot of money. I didn't even move with a for sure job yet. Like, I just fucking did it. And you know what? It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. You know, and there's a million other stories I could tell you about trying new shit and being glad that I did it, whether it worked out or not. And after after moving out of town and all that shit, like, at first it was rough, but it became one of the most rewarding things. And not just because, that leap of faith and those first, few steps into the unknown and how it changed me in ways I can't even describe, right? But it also kept me the fuck out of trouble. It didn't just change me, it changed my fucking life, man. Like, I changed my environment, I changed my way of thinking. I changed the type of people I hung around. Everything changed. And it was one of the greatest decisions I ever made in my life. One of the greatest decisions I ever made in my life, man. And I think that's the beauty of trying new shit. It's not about getting it right. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's about who the fuck you become in the process. And don't get me wrong, that's some shit I'm still learning every day. Every fucking day. So with that being said, let's talk more about that. Okay? So let's get practical for a second, right? Let's get practical. When I say trying new things, I don't just mean like the big life-changing moments, right? I already told you that. Like, don't get me wrong, those moments are awesome, they're great, they're completely legit, right? But sometimes it's those very small daily risks that make the most impact. Straight up. Like, what if you decided today to try something you've never, ever done? Whether you're on stream or some shit, like, or not, right? Maybe let's just use that as an example. Say you're a streamer, and what if you decided today to try something you've never done on stream? Maybe it's a genre of music, maybe it's a genre of the type of game you've never played, maybe you're testing a new format. But the beauty of it to me isn't even in the outcome. It's in the moment. Maybe it's a new topic. It's in the moment. The thrill of kind of jumping into something that feels unfamiliar, that feels exciting, And when you take that leap, all right, when you take that leap of faith, what happens is you surprise the fuck out of yourself. Now, straight up, like, you find that even in the uncertainty, even in the unknown, there's kind of like not kind of, there is like this feeling of freedom. and it's a different type of freedom. It's not the freedom you feel when you get your first car or the freedom you feel like, sneaking out of your fucking parents' house, going to that first house party or some shit. No. I'm talking about a real different type of freedom. Not that not that type of freedom. Um but like I said, take this topic, that I'm talking about tonight. Yeah, I've never talked about this before, so I went into this topic blind and we've already been talking for an hour. I've had no strategy, nothing, no spoilers about the topic. But going in, there was a part of me that was a tad bit like anxious about it. Can people relate? Is it something that people even want to hear about? You know, but then there was also a part of me that was genuinely excited. Like obviously it could be a total disaster. It could be some fucked up shit, right? Or it could end up being one of the most fun conversations I've ever streamed. And shit, I don't know yet, but that's what makes this shit so interesting. That's what makes trying new things so interesting. So I'm curious, as I'm running my mouth and I'm talking, I'm chit chatting, I'm motor mouthing it, right? I'm curious, what's something in your life that you've always wanted to try, but just never have? And it doesn't have to be some, astronomically huge ass shit. Just something that feels like it's out of reach right now. Maybe it's starting a new hobby. Maybe it's saying yes to something you've been avoiding. Maybe it's just having a conversation you've been too afraid to start. Like it could be anything. Like what's something in your life that you've always wanted to try but you never have? And I want you to take a moment to kind of, and maybe you don't want to put it in the stream. That's fine. But I want you to kind of take a moment and really think about it on your own. You know, what's something that would like push you to confront parts of yourself that are just kind of waiting to grow? They're just kind of just sitting around like, dun, 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 dun. Like, hey, we're trying to grow here too. Come sprinkle some water on us. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of think to yourself, like, damn, what could I really improve? What could I really grow? What could I really, uh, you know, take to the next level within myself? Okay. Now that you did that, let me tell you something. I think that the most beautiful thing about trying new things, yeah, about trying new things is not the result, right? It's about, like I said earlier, it's about what you learn along the way. Because the world is so much bigger than the little bubble we kind of tend to create for ourselves. And every time we step outside of that bubble, we just we kind of we find new pieces of who we really are. But I know some of you might be sitting there thinking, but what if I fail? What if it's embarrassing? And you know what? I hear you. You know why I hear you? Because I've been there before. Hell, shit, I'm still there sometimes, straight up. The fear of failing, the fear of looking stupid, is one of the biggest reasons we avoid change. But you know what else I've realized? That failure isn't like some big ass stop sign. It's a detour. It's not the end of the road. It may be a closed door, but there's plenty of other doors. It's just a shift in direction. The only real failure is the one where you don't get the fuck back up, wipe yourself off, and try the fuck again. That's the real failure. And let's be honest here. Every time I fucked up, like not even just on stream or no shit like that, but like every time I fucked up, just period. Even if it's something fucking ridiculous, I've learned more in that moment than I would have if everything had gone perfectly. I wouldn't learn a fucking thing. That's why they say struggle builds character, you know? Because perfection is kind of overrated. Because the beauty lies in the imperfections. No matter what it is. No matter what it is, man. Like, you can have the most beautiful woman in the world. But if there aren't a few imperfections to humble her nature, humble her character, to create this down to earth vibe that's right for you, no matter what type of girls you're into, right? Then you'll probably find yourself in some shallow, fucked up situation. But not speaking on women, right? Not speaking on women. The imperfections, the mess ups, the learning curves, that's what makes shit. That's what makes shit interesting. And that's why trying new things, no matter how messy or imperfect, is one of the most authentic ways to grow. Like, for real, for real. Shit's real, man. It's genuine, you know? It's completely genuine. So, I guess, I guess, uh, I guess we should kind of talk about what the takeaway from all this is. What's the takeaway here? Shit, if you think about it, it's really simple. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back from trying some new shit. You know, start small if you need to. But, man, fucking start, bro. Like, go do that shit. You know? Because the moment you start, you unlock the possibility of growth, of unexpected happiness, of change, etc., etc., etc. And in that, you'll find all kinds of other shit. And with that being said, man, it's your boy Cloudy Wingz, CLOUDYWINGZ, and that is the stream for tonight, man. I really appreciate y'all being here with me, man. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart, man. From this stream to your home, man. I love y'all, man. And I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of the week, a wonderful night. I will be streaming tomorrow, maybe the same time, maybe not, but it will be tomorrow. Most likely it'll be tomorrow in the daytime, tomorrow morning. And then I might do a second stream tomorrow night. Please tune in, man. I'd love to see y'all there, man. I'd love to really get to know y'all really, really connect, man. But much love to y'all, man, for real, man. And I hope you guys took something away from anything that I said tonight, man. I would feel super good about it, man. I don't care what it is, man. If you took anything away from anything I said tonight, man, that's all I need, bro. I don't care about anything else, man. Just man, live life to the fullest, man, and go send that shit, man. Go send that shit, man. Like fuck it. You want to do that shit, do it. You saw that shit in a dream, and you fuck it, try it. You know, go try some new shit, man. Peace.